Oh, lads.
Oh, can we get that on camera? There's a lot of taxis just in front of us getting sick.
Welcome to Dublin. My era with like Dan Bigger, Hannah Jones, Justin Tipper, all retired literally the same day.
I think they'd free up a lot of the budget, wouldn't it?
I think the first day we got there, Gats was like, right, we'll have a couple of beers. And Sean was like, come mate, you're going to drink with me. I was like, yeah, great. I'd be like, yeah, I'm a student, I drink quite a bit. Mate, 10 pints in, I was on the floor.
Dave, where is this fella? Dave.
Okay,
We're
what's
back.
the crack, kid?
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too, kid.
Ready to go now?
Ready to rock.
Let's
Ready
roll.
to rock.
Here we are for our second episode of our Six Nations special. Thanks to our friends at BYD South Dublin, Deansgrange, BYD North Dublin, Navan Road, part of the MSL Motor Group. They've given us this beauty of a BYD C-Line 7. Dave, what do you think of this one now?
Yeah, travelling in style. It's always a crowd outside doing it there, watching us drive past in the new BYD.
It's nice because we do get some good looks in this, Dave. It's in this beautiful indigo grey colour, and you know us, we're always about arriving in style.
I think it's me they're looking at, not the car.
Yeah, or that lovely Munster retro you've got on there now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're putting out some of the
Always
retro gear for us.
representing. You got to be representing up here.
Dave, what a week we've had. We watched Ireland dissect England. You were over in London yourself for the weekend. Did
Yeah.
anyone see it coming? I don't know if we did.
We were chatting there. Look, I don't think anyone saw that level of performance or result going. You know, I've played in there a couple of times, and one of probably the hardest grounds to go to Twickenham. But I think just the overall game plan, precision, performance, and the result at the end. Like I was there, I was sitting with Barry Murphy and John Paul Construction. We were over with them. They brought us over. So we were just looking around. We were like the supporters leaving early, looking at the faces on the bench. They were just like, they looked lost, you know. And it's the first time I've seen that in an English team in a long time. They just seem to have no answers, and that's probably credit to, I think, Faz and the game plan and the coaches that they put together. Some massive performances like Stu McCluskey, Rob Balakoon, and then some of the, you know, the lads have been there a long time. Ty, Josh, these lads just pulled out James Ryan. I thought was excellent. A lot of them just put in huge performance, and that's what it takes to win over there. We were out on the Friday. We were over for the...
How did you get on? You were on the pitch, weren't you, for the Legends game?
I was on the pitch for the Legends game. Shane Byrne's listening. I didn't last too long. It was my first time running after I got my Achilles tendon surgery, so I didn't want to push it too much. So I was kind of over there, more moral support, gave my 10 minutes. Got the crowd into it, got his early score.
Did you get a score?
No, I got the kind of more of a game player these days in the ball.
Yeah, playmaker.
Making moves, yeah, dummy lines. No, look here, it was... he rang me, Len, initially, and I was like, absolutely not, would you play in the Legends game? And then he told me it was for Lewis Moody, and obviously you can never say no to that, and delighted to go over and help out. He brought he's there with his family, and it was just like great to see the rugby community behind him. Chatted to him after, obviously incredibly tough time the family are going through, but huge turnout, and I think that's the strength of the rugby community. Great to be part of it.
Absolutely. When I picked you up before we collected Ian McKinley the last time, the most outstanding thing that was sort of being spoke about with the Irish team was Andy Farrell saying that there was a real lack of intent in the match in Paris against France in match day 1.
Say that to Stuart McCluskey now.
Exactly. Like, I suppose fast forward a few weeks, was that England game all about intent, wanting it more, the ferocity at the breakdown, just all across the pitch? It really did show intent.
Definitely, yeah. I think Ireland, England, you're going to get that spike anyway, but I just think they really answered any questions asked of them. And it's funny, like, you're either the worst team in the world or the best team in the world in Ireland. So look, I think we on the outside, you're probably saying maybe we didn't see that performance coming. I'm sure there would have been a quiet confidence. You know, they have a lot of great players coming through in there at the moment. You wouldn't say Stuart McCluskey's coming through, he's 33, and I met him the other day in Mr. Magpie. I was saying it's good to get your breakthrough season.
That's it.
No, but here you have to admire, like, I think for any young lad or young girl watching this, you look at a lad there going up to camp 10 years, you know, you're going up and you might train Monday to Thursday, and, you know, come to really big games, you're going home back playing with your province, and you know he obviously wanted to be involved in every game, and then you know he's consistently 8-9 performances with Ulster. Probably didn't get the recognition because maybe Ulster weren't doing as well, and then Ireland obviously going so well, they tend to pick their tried and tested, which is completely fair. You know, you Bundy, Gary, Robbie, they were kind of rotated between them, but Stu, just, you know, you're looking for that opportunity, and it can take a long time to come, and I think a lot of Irish players that were in now around that system and knows what professional rugby's like and how hard it is to break into that team would resonate and would admire his resilience, and you know just kept plugging away, and I think it's true of anything in life. You know, you keep going, pounding the rock, it eventually breaks, and you know, he's probably up there now. They're saying best 12 in Europe, if not the best. You know, he's like, you look at what he's done, and I suppose what it has done now, and what looked like a far cry after Paris and even after missing out on a bonus point against Italy was any chance of Six Nations success. But I suppose we do still need a big result for someone against France to open that up again for us. But we are still in the running and lying there waiting, I suppose, are we? Yeah,
100%.
Well, you look at, like, the thing with the French is, you know, they're obviously in great form at the moment and they're absolutely flying it, but the French can have an off day, and England now, where the wounded animal going over, there's going to be, you know, massive questions asked within their camp of themselves, of the outside noise, media, and there's definitely a huge performance in that team. You know, there are some great players in there, great coaching group. They've shown that they can do it. It seemed like they got over the speed bump going into the Six Nations. You know, they'd done the transition period and there was talks of a Grand Slam for them and all that, and so they're obviously massively wounded at the moment, and they're going to come out with all guns blazing the next couple of games. They have to, you know, there's positions on the line, jobs on the line, money on the line, everything on the line.
Dave, so for our next game, we're obviously facing Wales on Friday night. This is our Welsh pickup, and we have a Wales legend, a former British and Irish Lion we're on the way to get. It's Alex Cuthbert.
Yeah,
should be a good one.
Should have been the Lions tour. I was supposed to be on the 2013 one. I got the initial letter. I obviously missed the second one. Must be when I moved house.
Yeah, must have been. Yes, it was lost on puff somewhere.
Yeah, the holiday booked. I couldn't go.
Yeah, so Alex Cuthbert, I suppose we may make our way over to him.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what he has to say for himself now about the state of Welsh Rugby Union, what answers he has.
Hey BYD, drive us to Alex Cuthbert.
We're here. Do the honours. Get that lad to come in.
Hi BYD, windows open.
What's up? All right.
Alex, good to see you, kid. Come on in.
Lads,
Alex,
what's going on?
welcome.
Right.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you, mate. Right, how was it?
Great now.
Here we go. Well, Dave, we're here and we've got another big gun for our second episode of our Six Nations special here on What the Ruck. We have Wales legend, former British and Irish Lion, Alex Cuthbert. Another good one, Dave?
Yeah, great one. The stairs are getting bigger and taller, so it's good. Someone I can chat to at my height is good. Always good to chat to.
I like being called Big Gun Boys, I'll tell you that all day of the week.
Yeah, we'll take that. That could be the intro for it there anyway. Well, with thanks to our friends at BYD South Dublin, Deansgrange, BYD North Dublin, Navan Road, part of MSL Motor Group, we're able to bring What the Ruck on the road for the 2026 Six Nations Championship. And Dave, big one ahead of the Wales match. Alex, what a Six Nations it's been so far.
Yeah, mate, it has absolutely been unbelievable. Unpredictable as well. You know, I think people are writing Ireland off. People are writing Wales off, obviously, with not too bad a result against Scotland. France are high flying. And obviously Italy, I think, are the sort of surprise package in terms of some of the results and the way they're playing. This is what makes this competition so good, really, for me.
Yeah, Dave, do you miss watching on? I suppose this is the first Six Nations that you've not been, that you're actually retired for. Watching on as a fan, are you enjoying that?
But you've been retired years, isn't it?
No.
I was playing last week. I came on there. I was in the second half.
Yeah. Oh, lads.
Oh,
Can we get that on camera? No, there's a lad, the taxi's just in front of us getting sick.
welcome to Dublin.
What was your question again?
So saying, so this is the first Six Nations since you've been officially retired.
Officially retired, yeah. But as Alex said, I broke my shoulder at the World Cup, and when I got back then, I snapped my Achilles. So I've been officially retired from the Six Nations for 2 years now. But first one that I got to go and enjoy. So I was over in London the weekend, Alex. We were
I bet, yeah.
we'd a Legends game on a Friday actually for Lewis Moody.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was
I know a few lads playing that.
Yeah, it was great crack. And then over Saturday then to the big game, and as you were saying about not seeing results coming, like I think within the camp I met Faz in the airport after I came home we were on the team flight on the way home, and he didn't actually seem that shocked by the results. I think they've been quietly confident. Like there's a lot of players that I suppose have gone not under the radar, but they've been thereabouts, like your Stuart McCluskey's, Rob Balacoons, probably getting big chances now, and really taking them with both hands. Even there before we collected you, we were just chatting about Stuart McCluskey. He's one player, like he's
he's been consistent, hasn't he? He just hasn't had a chance.
That's
I guess,
literally what we said, and you see it in Welsh camp. Like there's these lads. It was probably Robbie, Gary, and Bundy. They shared a jersey for so long, and Stu probably trains, Monday to Thursday, and you get the call in on Thursday, go back with your club, and he's consistently your 8 or 9 performance, and then all of a sudden he gets an opportunity, and look at what he's doing. He's up there as one of the best 12s in Europe at the moment. If not the best, standout.
It's testament to that squad, isn't it? You've got to keep that consistency in the centre, I think, especially. So him being on the back burner, he's training against those two lads constantly. He's making them better as well as him making them better. And I think you're reaping the rewards, aren't you, with obviously Bundy not being there and him having an opportunity, isn't it?
Bundy's on parole, so
there's a lot of
we'll call over here to the Joy and drop him in his 2 meals a day. I know Bundy will come back. I was actually in a Q&A with him over there before. He was cashing in while he was out, but I was kept cracking.
He's older than us, isn't he?
We had a good joke about Bundy before that he walked his baptism. He walked in himself. There's no passport details on him. But,
nothing.
Yeah, that was my joke gag of the day. We'd take the ankle tag off him for the speech.
I'd say that went there good. Yeah. Alex, we have to speak about Welsh rugby at the moment, and I suppose it's not long ago that when Wales were coming to town, it was something as a fan we would dread, but I suppose it's a bit of a far cry from that now. We know there's a lot of issues with funding, finances, players opting to play away from the Welsh regions. What's the feeling amongst fans over there now? Is there any hope, really?
Oh, it's been tough, because gone are the years where we used to just love coming over for the great crack and Dublin nightlife after a good game.
2013, we'll get into that.
Exactly,
I got CCTV footage from Bristol.
I'm sure there is over the years. I better be careful what I say. But it's pretty sad, really, mate. Really, obviously, only a couple of years ago we were quarter-final World Cup, going pretty far in, obviously, Six Nations, but now so much uncertainty, and I feel sorry for a lot of the Welsh lads. There's a third of the squad are from the Ospreys, and they're not going to probably be around in the next 18 months, which is crazy to think, isn't it, really?
So it's looking like Ospreys getting the chop out
it's looking like it, and so a lot of uncertainty there. We've obviously lost a lot of players in like one sort of batch, sort of my era, with likes of Dan Bigger, Hannah Jones, Justin Tippett, all retired literally the same day.
I think they'd free up a lot of the budget, wouldn't it?
You think so? Yeah. Well, there's a lot of budget there, I'll be honest. Yeah. So I think we just, obviously, with all the good times that we had over the years, I think it was sort of not enough work underneath was happening. So obviously, I hate to say it, the better we were doing, the more money we were sort of earning, taken away from the underneath. That's not our fault, is it?
As we collect you here in the Gibson Hotel,
that's why we're it. But no, it's sad to see. But I think we saw a sort of baseline performance last week against Scotland, where I think we need to be as a squad, and hopefully they can build from. Albeit it's going to be tough. Away to Ireland is one of the hardest fixtures, I think, in international rugby, and on a Friday night. So it all builds to be hopefully a pretty good game.
And I think everyone, I saw an interview with Jerry Flannery during the week. Wales been the heartbeat of the Six Nations for so long. I think actually the rugby community, we chatted about the Lewis Moody thing, and you're chatting, people want, they rally in behind teams and players when they're going back. Like Wales are going through this, unprecedented time, and no one wants to see it because it makes the competition better. I know they had a good performance now, in fairness, last week, and a little bit better, restored a little bit of faith, but
it's a long way.
It's a long way to go, and even in the provinces over there, you want them to be competitive because they make the other teams better, and it's just sad to see. But as you said, it's trying to find a solution. I don't know, is losing provinces, the regions better, because you're taking out another. If you have to go down to 2 provinces, just say all of a sudden you've 2 players going for position rather than 4. You know, you're cutting out a massive.
Yeah. And obviously the team that's being mentioned is the Ospreys, which is the Swansea region. So it goes from pretty much the edge of Clethley all the way to the edge of Cardiff and Bridgend, which is a big area of where we will not have a professional team, which is mad. And the Ospreys were winning the leagues on a regular basis. European Cups, the amount of British and Irish Lions. So
Wine Street will end up closing down.
It won't be quite as busy, will it? I'm sure the Irish boys love a trip to Swansea anyway. But I'm not sure what's going to happen in that. There's obviously massive decisions happening now at the moment with EGMs going on, with vote of no confidence within the guys in the union. So it's like it's a real mess. And like you said, it's sad. You chatting to people. I went to Twickenham the first game. And like you get an English guy's just feeling sorry for you, and you feel like, jeez, come on, like
things must be really bad.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like the rivalry's like through the roof. Come
They're
on,
probably
mate.
like, you can go down to one region.
Exactly. So we need to get back to that competitive, because Wales is, it's the heart and soul, like I said, of that Six Nations and all the history behind it. We need to get back up, and it just only makes that tournament better, doesn't it? We don't want to see France and flying high like they are at the moment. They're just, they're streets above anyone at the moment. So
I'll give you a good one about Wine Street. We our old coach, and I'm wearing the Munster retro jersey, Anthony Foley, Axel. He was our A coach coming through, and we had a good A team coming through. It was like me, Murray, Pete. We all went into the academy kind of the same year. Kind of broke on kind of the same year. Archer and Axel was our coach. He'd just retired, and they put a new coach into coaching the young lads. But he had one rule, because we played a lot of teams, like we would have played Swansea and Newport in that B&I Cup, and like 19, 20. And he said one rule. So normally, you fly over on the day, you fly back after. So if you're playing them on a Saturday, you might fly over on the Friday, play the game Saturday, home after. If we were playing so we might get a budget for one night, but we'd fly the morning of the game, and the budget for the night would be used for the night after, so we get our night out in Wine Street.
Yeah,
and I tell you, it worked, because we ended up winning the B&I Cup that year.
It's great hunger.
Out in Wine Street.
Did you play the 20s for Ireland in that in Swansea? When there was a big, massive, the fight between Wales and France, and the hotel had to close down.
Oh, was there?
Oh, it was wild, yeah.
So
did you hear about that?
No, I did hear about that. Yeah.
It was like Jonathan Davis playing Liaf, probably scored last minute try in the corner against France, and he kicked the kick, and one of the French lads, I think it was like Bastro was there. They had all these lads. They flew on, and it was a 40-man brawl.
No way.
Everyone, physios were getting knocked out. Everyone, and then they had to separate in the change rooms. Then they went to the same hotel. So they were staying in the same hotel, but Wales on level 4, but France on level 2. So all the Welsh boys were absolutely so scared. So when they hit the lift, they were like, "Please don't stop on 2. Please don't stop on 2." Because they'd be dragging in with the French. So it was like, it was mental. But I wasn't sure if you were involved there, but that's another story.
Jeez, that's that's something. And it's a big French team as well. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, French are mad.
Alex, there's obviously a lot of talk about Wales' best players, heading over to the Premiership to play, but I suppose perhaps one of the more concerning things is the young players opting to play for England rather than Wales. We saw with Feiwa Boso, who would obviously come through the ranks with Wales and expressed his desire to potentially represent Wales at senior level. Is this going to be something that you fear we could see more of?
You kind of started the big money exit, did you, with your trip to Exeter? You started the downfall of it.
Blame Dan Big on it. No, mate, it's actually mad, really, because Feiwa Bosa, I remember I was in the squad in 2023, and he was in the squad because he just got released from Wasps. At the time, obviously, Wasps just got disbanded, so he had no club. So he came to train against Wales for we needed numbers within the summer camp. And this guy was in training, and I said to Wayne Pugh at the time, I was like, "Who is this guy?" I said, "If he plays any better in training, he's going to take my spot on the summer tour." And then we didn't hear anything of him, and then he signed for Exeter, and then now he's playing for England, and that's happening an awful lot. We are losing a lot of young, especially in the 20s, a lot of players playing for Bristol, Gloucester, Bath. We've got a lot of boys playing for Bath, just because of the uncertainty. You're guaranteed education contracts in the English Premiership, and it's a good league, isn't it? I enjoyed my years there, and that's the worry with the decline of Welsh rugby, that we are losing a lot of young talent to England. A lot of them are Welsh, and they do want to play for Wales. It's about keeping tabs of them, isn't it?
So we're just clarifying, you didn't lead the...
No,
you didn't
I
lead,
didn't lead.
You didn't lead
I
the big
went- I
money
went for a
move to
lovely
Exeter.
game, mate.
Like,
I
you
went
went for a lovely game,
game.
and you like surfing down in Cornwall.
Yeah,
that was,
I loved it. Yeah, exactly.
Totally hard to
John Noel
see.
told me, yeah, it was great down there. I took
I
a
did
pay
see
cut
that.
and everything. But, no, you will see that a lot more. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't like in terms of young players going over and playing in England. But as long as we're keeping tabs of them, and obviously we get them back to the national team.
Yeah, and I think that's it. I think going away and getting players back can obviously be very positive, but you can't blame the players at the moment. You know, it's such uncertainty
exactly
and
that,
you know, all the talk. It like they're human. They have mortgages to pay, unlike yourself. But like most of them have like
Coming from a guy for the 10-year Munster deal. Yeah,
14, but sure, who's counted?
Who's bad as Zebo, you are?
Yeah, it's challenging times ahead.
It
But
is,
what is the chat over there? Like you're obviously a lot more amongst it and hearing. Like, is it? I know the talk of Ospreys and stuff, but is it pumping more money in? Is it trying to get players back? Like, is there a solution that they're trying to work towards?
So they did a massive consultation, which they included fans, third parties in terms of ownership, players, and the board then unanimously said that they need to go down to 3. So the decision then, so the owners, Y11, who owned the Ospreys, have now bought Cardiff. So now the union have accepted them to buy Cardiff so they could wind down the Ospreys, so the union take the decision out of their hands.
Okay.
So it's not gone down well.
Yeah,
'Cause it's quite
yeah.
sneaky.
No.
It seems really. There's lads in the Ospreys. I know they had a meeting a couple of weeks ago. This is mad. The chief exec comes in and goes, right, lads, our club is probably only going to be here for 18 months. And one of the lads stood up and goes, well, why didn't you tell me? I wouldn't have re-signed, like quite a big name profile player.
Yeah.
So there's a big fallout within that team and the ownership of that. So this is why there's an EGM called. So emergency general meeting in terms of no vote and no confidence with the board and the ownership and union. So it's going to get real messy.
Yeah. It's like Leinster and
inside.
Munster combining essentially.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't happen. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've played in Munster and Munster is just everything, isn't it?
Yeah,
you have that walk in and it's just flags everywhere.
But same with Ospreys. Ospreys is just it's
You'd be
it's probably
surprised.
the equivalent of it down there. It's mad.
Yeah, it's hopefully it gets sorted out, but it's going to be a long sort of turmoil sort of role, and then everyone's going to have to be a bit patient. And but the thing is, everyone says no to everything that new's happening, but you've got to, if you're saying no, you still got to come up with a sort of
a solution.
Yeah. You don't want to just be against absolutely everything. We've got to find a solution which is going to be best for Welsh rugby long term.
Yeah.
So
That's the
hopefully
thing,
we
you
can
see,
get there.
hopefully, because there should be, like, if you've that fan base and you have that amount of, like, is it affecting younger players? Because it's still the number one. Obviously, there's not many countries in the world where it's the number one sport. It's still the number one sport there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
is it affecting? Do you think numbers playing it at an underage? Probably isn't. Like you're still probably getting.
We've still got a lot of good young players coming through, mate, and which is mad considering what's been happening. But you imagine if we had everything in order, how good the system could be. It's just we need to get to a solution with the clubs and finances seem to be the be all and end all at the moment in terms of they're probably looking at a little bit short term rather than long term. So these are this is way above my pay grade.
Try to get you in a business development role, get a bit of money into the could be a job.
I've got I'm happy enough talking about it, but
let's criticise.
It's just criticise a lot. But
It's
no,
their fault.
But to be fair, there's a good group of us ex-players that are involved with certain discussions that they do want us to get involved. So, we all have had our say, and it's just whatever they feel is the right direction and what's the best long term, isn't it? For Wales, not just a short term fix. Because it's easy to say, we need results, we need to win, but it's a bigger picture than that thing at the moment.
And when we go back to your career, Alex, always more important. We're talking about ourselves. So you, running background, athletics background, sevens, carved, kind of blew up initially, absolutely blew up. 2011 was it?
Yes, yeah. So massive athletics background for me. Massive. I'm a farmer back in Forest of Dean. Parents. So my parents, I could probably only just do the sports that I was able to do, and I used to rely on a lot of my mates to pick me up because my parents, working farmers. So athletics, massive background. Sevens, 2009, Wales won World Cup. So I joined that team literally straight after the World Cup.
Yeah.
Which is mad, first World Cup.
Yeah.
So I joined that. I literally got picked up at a sevens tournament in Bath, weirdly, playing for a team called Marauders, and someone spotted me and said, do you want to play sevens more regularly? And I was like, yeah, and then they found out I was Welsh, and then So I ended up going to Hewitt Cardiff Met Uni, was playing there.
Similar to me, Athletic sevens. Picked up the sevens tournament, it was this flyer.
Yeah, exactly, ripped up for a
shredded
big
flyer on the
And then, 2011, Cardiff, played first cap after that World Cup. Shane Williams' last game, and then, it's just sort of went on from there. I was lucky, mate. I really just joined a pretty good team, to be honest.
Like when you think of it, what a career to start, didn't you? The Grand Slam 2012?
Well, I was still a student, mate, at the time.
Oh, my
and I just joined.
Walking
I was
around
on a Canada
uni
contract.
with a Grand Slam medal.
Yeah, I was in a house of 8 lads. So you imagine it was absolutely carnage. And then obviously in 2013 won the championship again, and the Lions. So within 3 years or 2 years.
That was actually my first year as well. We played you the first game. I think we beat you in the
you smashed us.
You came back in the second half.
Yeah.
You put in a good performance, but you went down and then won the championship again.
Yeah, so we ended up having that final game against England. So England were going for Grand Slam, so I think they beat you boys. We had to win by 9 points, and we beat them 30 points to 3. So,
that was great, and that was the year the Lions selection then obviously catapulted you that was a big that game, wasn't it? I remember it makes a lot of Lions selections who wins there.
Because that was your debut in 2013, wasn't it, Dave?
2013,
Well, that first game,
you scored that, didn't you?
I scored the Island game.
So I
scored a couple against
beat
England.
Alex my first.
He did.
Your first encounter.
To be fair, I don't think I've ever beaten Dave. Actually, we've beaten Munster once, so whether you were playing, you might have been. You'd probably check the blue team out.
I probably wasn't playing.
You boys had too good of bonuses, so you all wanted to play, didn't you? So it was I don't think I probably couldn't have got a better start to international rugby. Really, come straight out of uni, straight into a Grand Slam championship in the Lions Tour. It was pretty surreal.
A winning Lions Tour, starting first try. I remember it was at the back of the line-out.
Yeah, literally just run a little block play, Sexton, bang, straight through. I was just like, whoa, this is. It was pretty good atmosphere there. It was on another level, and that Lions Tour, that 2013 was like sort of the last. It was professional, but we were going out an awful lot and enjoying it. But we had a real good group.
Yeah, so you can't do that when you're over at that, on the in-between stages, I suppose. If you're not playing.
Not so much now, probably, but
we often chat about that now. Those years, the kind of 2011 to maybe 2014, 15, it was still getting a little bit of the transition period.
The social media wasn't quite on top then.
You couldn't really work out who was in the megapixel in the camera. God, that wasn't me.
I've looked back on some of them, and you can't see who's who really. So it's pretty lucky. But it was that tour. We had some really good Irish lads there that we got on really, really well with. Like Zeeb's got very good mates with him. Colin Murray. Obviously Brian Driscoll was on that tour, Jamie Hughes, Rob Carney, a lot of these Leinster lads. Paul O'Connell, he was good. He was a real good lad.
Sean O'Brien there, was he?
Shawnee,
Shawnee,
Shawnee O'Brien, got on really well with him.
There as well.
He was my first roommate actually.
Oh, so you roomed with Sean O'Brien?
And I remember the first. So we were in Carton House, is it?
Yeah.
And I think the first day we got there, Gats was like, right, we'll have a couple of beers. And Sean was like, come mate, you're going to drink with me. I was like, yeah, grand. I'm a student, I drink quite a bit. Mate, 10 pints in, I was on the floor. He was carrying me back to my room. And he's just like, it's like his normal thing. Yeah. And apparently he does that to everyone.
I tell you, that's actually hilarious.
Just test me out.
My first... that game we played, this was my first Six Nations game under Decky Kidney, and it was that week, the Wales week. We drove down, me and Johnny. I was in college as well, I was just finishing, I was 22, and we ended up leaving camp on the Tuesday or day off, went down, stayed in my house in Limerick, and we went out that night. Now we didn't drink, I don't think. Well, let's say we didn't drink it anyway. But we didn't, I know. And then we went home, back up to camp Wednesday, and played on Saturday. But it was... we were home early for out of the camp anyway. But imagine doing that now. Do you know, now we've never done anything, it just changed, as you said, times changed. Yeah,
definitely changed. We had some good trips to Dublin. I remember after the 2014 one was a good one. Obviously it was a year after Warren dropped Brian Driscoll in the last test, didn't he? It was
public enemy number one over here he was.
And obviously then we had to play, I think it was the first game we played Ireland away. And we knew that you boys were going to be right out. There's quite a few boys there. A lot of lads who didn't get
revenge
picked.
of bad.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't just Brian, it was like Jamie Hughes, other lads who didn't get to play as well. So you imagine they were really trying to prove a point. They absolutely smashed us.
I remember that press conference. What's the question they said to Jonathan Davies?
Did you see that?
Why are you, or what do you do better than Brian?
Foxy said there was
put him on the spot, like, for God's sake.
He was saying there was like a Facebook poll saying like how to get rid of Jonathan Davis for Brandon Driscoll or something. And like Foxy always jokes about, Foxy always jokes about saying his brother was number 1.
Yeah.
Well, once again, this episode wouldn't be possible without our sponsors and friends at BYD South Dublin Deansgrange, BYD North Dublin Navan Road, part of the MSL Motor Group, and we're going to take a quick minute to take a look at the best features of this BYD C-Line 7. This BYD C-Line 7 is a fully electric SUV. A full charge has the WLTP range of up to 470 kilometres, 360 cameras and full voice recognition, rotating 15.6-inch centre screen, multifunctional Napa leather seats, dynamic water drop tail lamps, heated and air-conditioned seats and steering wheel. It's also got 4 different driving modes depending on your needs.
And again, I do not come with the car.
So that 2014 we came, I remember we got smashed here. And Gas straight away was like, you got to have a curfew, no one's allowed out. And we're like, what? Come on, we need, after a loss like that, sometimes you need a couple of beers, isn't it? So we were staying on the north side of Dublin. So we ended up going to like a pub around the corner just for a couple of beers.
About that. He's never been over that side.
And we thought we'd get away with a couple of beers there. And obviously after a couple of beers, what happens is you end up having a few more, then we're like, we'll go a bit further.
Well, I remember I was at the table beside you.
3-4 o'clock, probably 3-4 o'clock we were in Crystal. And thought, geez boys, we're going to try and get away with this. Got back into the hotel, thought no one would ever know. And flew back the next day, come in Monday morning, sort of like happy we had a few beers, but obviously, a lot to work on from the game. Come into the team room, and obviously you've been to the Vale, you go downstairs in the big team room with all the seats, and you have a big massive projector. And do you have a picture in the Island camp where you have like the moves and blah blah blah?
I've made the projector once or twice.
Yeah, bang, straight on the projector was like the Sunday Irish Telegraph, I think, and it was a picture of one of the lads with a bottle of champagne in Cristal, and they named 6 of the boys. Oh my God!
Yeah, you don't need that the first day of camp when you go in.
That was a sketchy week, and then we get to Friday. And Gats didn't speak to us all week.
That's nearly worse, though.
Yeah, didn't say anything. So we were like, "Well, what's happening? What's coming?"
Disappointment rather than
anger.
No, not angry at all. Very disappointed. Friday come fines committee, and let's say that I pretty much played that game for free.
It cost you to play.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was brutal. But so that was. The sort of years where you think you get away from it, but that was sort of the end of it.
And I suppose Warren Gatland as Wales head coach, and then going into the Lions with him, is there any difference in Gatland, in that tour? Does he approach stuff differently? Because obviously he's coming up, coaching a lot of other people that he would have been facing. Did he have different sort of tactics in managing people, or was it the same Gats that you knew?
Yeah, in that tour, 2013, he was definitely the same in terms of he had obviously all the coaches from Wales. It felt like a Welsh camp, to be honest, the way it was run.
Rob Howley there, was he?
Yeah, Rob was our backs coach. You had Jenks there, but the biggest difference what I really enjoyed was Faz, was our defence coach.
Yeah,
I got on really, really well with him, and I like. It's not like I didn't get on well with Sean. But you probably just have a bit more of a relationship with Faz. He's quite very good.
He's a special person.
I learned quite a lot. I learned a lot of him in that 6 weeks I was with him. He was unbelievable.
He's some person to hold a room. Like
the Hurt Locker speech. The boys were just headbutting each other after that. It was it was wild. So Gats got the dynamic really, really well. And I think over the past tours, and I think it was the 2017 and maybe the South African one, he didn't probably have that dynamic group well enough. I thought that's what I've heard anyway. So, but no, that tour he you just don't change don't fix what's not broken really, is it, in terms of the way Wales are playing. I think he lent on that a lot. And I think the final test, I think we had like 13 Welsh boys in the final. So you sort of, it's hard to stop momentum, isn't it? I guess, and that confidence within the squad. So he wasn't too different, but I think as he got older and as the squad has changed, I think he did change a little bit.
You age No, it is. But you hear like things with Faz, even like lads who we would have first coached on this done most recent Lions tour.
Yeah.
It's great that actually people can experience how good he is, because it's so rare, isn't it? Razzie was another coach now. The two of them were just people who just get it right all the time.
What do you think the difference is then with Faz to your sort of other coaches that you have? Just how good he is?
Just certain people in life, I think it's in everything. They have a presence and aura. You know,
Definitely got an aura,
he's got an aura, and the fact that he can probably snap you in half. He's probably bigger. He's bigger than every player.
He's one coach you stand next to and think, I actually probably couldn't take him on here. If this kicks up.
We used to say down below, you'd pay to like see a UFC fight between Faz and Razzie. Like it'd be Razzie be filthy.
Did you see Farrell during the rugby league days with Wigan and the fights and stuff? Like it's hard. Yeah.
But he's just and getting back to like with Ireland, like say the weekends, like the thing with Faz, like say, you know, the media, the whole narrative here was Ireland are done, transition and all this.
Is that what the talk was here? Because that was quite a lot of talk in Wales, and England was like, gee, this Ireland team look old, they look a bit stout.
Exactly.
Exactly it,
especially, look, I was at the France game as well, and you know, the first half against France, there's no shying away from it, it's poor. And Faz is, you know, there's no bluffing with Faz. He's just, you could see him in the media after, he was dejected, you know, lack of intent, because he'll get over anything. He'll get over any kind of skill mistake. Yeah. You know, because he knows he can work on that, but effort. Yeah. And you never really see it from Irish teams, a lack of effort. You might see they're beaten on a day by a better team, or there might be, you know, a skiller or a scrum or something like that, but it won't be for lack of effort. And that was the first time I saw him, and I was like, geez, so I can imagine what that team meeting was like going in. Italy was a little bit better performance, still not. But the beauty about having Faz there, you always know there's hope, because he can turn it around. You know, it's like he can find something to tune into, whether that be, you know, that thing with the lack of intent. You focus on that for the week, and then, you know, all of a sudden now there's great hope in, you know, after that performance, because you'd like Rob Balakoon, you can chat about him as a winger.
Very good winger.
How well he's defending out there, but apparently he's defending unbelievable. And then you've like, even in our scrum probably came a little bit under pressure, the only area against England. But then you've still like Paddy McCarthy, Jack Boyle, Mike Milner, you know, you've lots of lads coming through. Eddie Adogbu in the second row, you know, there's kind of hope is restored a little bit.
Yeah,
so
the narrative has changed.
We went from a week of like, oh, they're over the hill, they're done, transition period, to now all of a sudden, new crop of players coming through, the Messiah, Stu McCluskey, you know, and there's
winning World Cup next year.
But it goes back to the point, when you have Faz at the helm, or any organisation, if it's right at the top, it generally always works. You know, and the lads have such belief and faith in him, and I'm delighted you got to experience, because that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
He's on another level. It'd be good to see, I think, next Friday, emotionally, if Ireland can just carry on that momentum, you know, because obviously Wales had it a little bit against Scotland. I just don't know if we can manage to get up to those highs of some of the individual performances against Scotland were phenomenal. So whether they can actually replicate that, because it's just hard, isn't it? Week in, week out, this tournament is
the lack of, there's only one fallow week this year.
It changes, doesn't it? It sort of suits the bigger sort of teams, I think, doesn't it? With the squad, the big squads.
If you've a bigger squad, like France, you know, they've been able to rotate second rows, props, you know, England probably, big squads, or I suppose more options, you know, they can play.
Yeah.
It was a tight game last year over in the Millennium Stadium.
Yeah, you boys rested a few on the bench, I think, and I think that was probably Wales' best performance. Well, in the couple of years it was. I think Sam Prendergast, he played really well that game, kicked really well. Bundyaki came off the bench, made a massive difference. He pretty much, you know, he won 2 or 3 big moments in the last 20 minutes.
Off him. Go in there one day and those are 20 minutes.
A couple of good turnovers, and it changed the game. But like I said, Aviva away on a Friday night is one of the toughest places to go and try and get a result. And I just want to see a performance from Wales. We saw the baseline. We know the team as a team, they're not going to be, you know, they're not going to be that, you know, physical in terms of that. That's not their sort of attributes, but that's the baseline I've seen last week. And if they can put that against Ireland, then at least then it would make it's more of a competitive game. They're in the game longer.
I think that's
blown away the first 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's where Wales are at the moment. I think good perform, like, you know, back up last week's performance. You know, show a performance rather than a result is what I think what they're chasing now.
Yeah,
you
a bit
can
like
build on that.
Faz said. What did he say? He didn't care about win or losing. I'm not sure how much I believe in that, but the mindset of that is about doing your effort thing. Like your 1%, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your non-negotiables really, really well. That's what that keeps you in games, I think.
Yeah. Dave, you spoke before obviously about Andy Farrell and Razzie and almost the man management side of it and how it really was brilliant for your own game. Alex, I suppose for you with Warren Gatland, what sort of a coach was he behind the scenes? Was he one to give you, an arm around the shoulder? Was it, a bit of tough love? And what got the best out of you, I suppose? What sort of a coach was best for you?
Yeah, Warren was he loved boys feeling like fully confident, not like arrogant. Like Mike Phillips was probably like one of the best examples. Yeah, like Warren we'd be in a meeting, and it'd be just random. I don't know what day of the week or whatever. He'd just stand up and Warren would be like, "So, how many of you boys actually think you're world class?" And obviously, only feels he stands up because and then he was like, "What? Well, why not?" And then we were all just like, "Well, I don't know." And then he's trying to get that across, like, okay, it's good, be humble, but this is the international arena, and if you're going into a game thinking you're world class, how much of another level can you be? And then he used to always tell us how we were the fittest team in the world. Like it sort of worked because it gave us that sort of belief, and we used to go into games thinking we can't lose. That was the sort of feeling that we'd have, and
You tapped into the belief.
really, real small little increments. Like you'd walk past me in the corridor, and be like, "Yeah, I think you got good 2 tries today."
You're 6'7".
Just little things like that.
Today, Alex. You're looking
Do you know what I
6'7"
mean?
today.
Yeah. But then some
20
weekends
minutes
he
in a
won't
row.
speak to you. He'll just ignore you.
Okay.
So he was quite not in a good way though. Like I understood him well. I got on well with him off the field, and sort of on it as well in terms of how he got me. But he knew every individual and how to get the best out of them.
Was there a fear factor with him?
There was a little bit, I think. Some boys some boys didn't care, but then there were days where he'd be like, "Lads, are you tired?" And Bradley Davis just stand there and goes, "Yeah, I'm absolutely knackered." He goes, "Right, train's off, bang." So he sort of
has to be the right person.
Yeah.
Has to be the right person.
yeah. So we were like, "Brad, stand up, man."
I'm tired. There's the bus kid. Get out of here.
And then sometimes that was the last time we saw him. But he was very good at just very good man manager in terms of getting the best out of individuals, knew personalities, and knew how to get the best out.
Yeah. Probably the trade of the best coaches, Faz and Razzie.
Faz will have learned a lot off Gats.
Yeah.
A little bit, I would have thought.
I'm sure he has. Faz probably has that, but he also has. I don't know how technical Warren is in terms of game plan. Faz is obviously a complete rugby nose as well. He knows everything. Of coming from the rugby league background, rugby union, he's just he's all over everything. And couple that with the man management skills.
That's what sets him apart. Whereas Warren was. But he was detailed, but not, I don't think, in the same level as Fazza.
Dave, you played more times against Wales in your international career than any other team with 9 caps. Coming up against that sort of side, like Alex, you would have been there with Lee Halfpenny, George North, Jonathan Davies, Jamie Roberts, Bigger, Phillips. But Dave, in the other changing room, and when you're going up against a team stacked like that, is there a fear factor from that side of things, especially when you saw the amount of silverware that team won over the years?
I think definitely, I don't even know if it was a fear factor, it was more of a respect factor. It was that glory, that's what I'm saying, it's so sad to see Wales where they are probably a little bit at the moment, because you look back and they dominated so much in the Six Nations, and even sometimes if the regions weren't going as well, it's like you go into Wales camp and you grow, 10 foot taller, and they come out with these crazy performances. Was it 2018 or 2019? Remember you won was it Grand Slam?
2019.
And we're very
we should have won it 2021 as well. You know what I mean? That's not that long.
Yeah, when you think of it, it's not that long ago. So I think it was just a massive respect factor. I think growing up, everyone those names, Mike Phillips, Halfpenny, yourself, there was Shane Williams. You can go through, there's just littered with massive individuals, Alwyn Jones, all these lads.
The same for Ireland though. I think that was why all the games were just so they were so physical with me. It was like, especially the way you boys played round the corner, just bang, trying to bang away, and and we were obviously defence, weren't we? You were probably more attack, we were more defence.
And backline, your backline was always
we were just, it was a real respect, I think, especially how good that team were individually. With obviously Leinster going on, Munster, unbelievable, like the two very good provinces all put together
at different times. And then,
it was.
And in the stadium, like you go out there, the college, and going in there to the Principality, because that was my first Six Nations game. I remember going in, I was like, "Geez, this is different level,"
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
stadium,
it is unbelievable, isn't it? When it's roof closed there is insane.
It's
Did you prefer playing roof closed, roof open, or had you a preference?
Like some of the big games, like against England, we'd love the roof closed, and we did when we won that 30 points to 3. It was closed, and you could actually feel England melt under the noise and the pressure, the constant wave that we were. So you can really feel teams sort of just like, ooh. I think if we ended up starting well in games, you could the crowd get involved. Like there were, especially lesser teams maybe. You could see they were like really intimidated, but you couldn't hear a thing, mate. You'd scream next to me, and I couldn't hear it.
I remember, when you talk about the noise, that's the one thing I remember, because normally, with lineouts, they'd huddle up and they'd go. We used to have a, for the rugby noses out there, you'd have to have a sub meeting, so the 10 would get the call to the second row. But the prop would have to go then to the second row and run, to get the call to the hooker. And your first game, in a Six Nations, you're like, you've so much other stuff going on in your mind. You just want to play well, but you have to nail the call, and it's so loud there. And you get one letter or one number wrong. You're like,
we got a one lift.
It's going up at 6 and the balls.
It is frightening, that atmosphere sometimes when it's closed.
Who would decide that as well? Like, would it be Warren's decision?
Well, it used to be had to be both teams that agree, but now it's Wales' choice now. So Wales just keep it closed. Just the atmosphere and so forth. Like the New Zealand game in the autumn was unbelievable. Like atmosphere-wise, they turned off all the lights. They just banged on the lights on the hacker, and it just their whole atmosphere. Because then it's entertainment, isn't it? You want to have it, and it kicked the game off really well, and the game ended up being really, really good. So it makes a massive difference. Because I played some games, the roof is. I remember when Ireland came to town on the 2019 for the Grand Slam game. Yeah. And the roof was open. It absolutely hammered down. It was a horrible game. But Wales just kicked points to win, and Gareth Anscombe kicked everything. And then it wasn't really an exciting game, was it? But Ireland thought that was a good thing for them. But then looking back, maybe
it might have been.
Should have shut the roof. And most of the time it's raining, mate. So that's why we got a roof.
I'd love to chat to you a bit about your club career, and you're probably start off with your stints at Cardiff when it was Cardiff Blues as well, and 7 or 8 seasons you spent there then? Just
short of 10 years there. Unbelievable, really. I owe them everything really in terms of obviously coming out of uni, sevens. They took a punt on me really to sign the academy, and then sort of rewarded them with quite a few years, British Irish Lions in that period of time. Ended up winning the Challenge Cup actually my last year, which was quite cool. In Bilbao, beat Gloucester in the last kick of the game, which was quite a nice send off. And then obviously I moved on to
And is that where you're originally from then, isn't it? Gloucester, was that your?
Yeah, so Gloucester, just at Forestine, that's where I was born. And my mum's Welsh from Wrexham.
When you're playing the poor farmer, you're well-to-do kind of landlord type farmer. Just so we can clarify that there. I don't know the carriage you're trying to play here.
We saw the tractors on the road there. Cleveland,
Are you going to Cheltenham? I'm going over to Cheltenham actually.
Tuesday, Friday.
I'll see you there, kid.
So I'll see you in Guinness finish, no doubt. So and then obviously I did 10 years there, near enough, and then moved to Exeter Chiefs, which was probably one of the best decisions I made actually, I think.
Over to Rob Baxter, you did a bit of a dynasty there for that.
Another, again, I keep speaking about how lucky I ended up joining an absolute unbelievable squad really, team. Insane. But going there, obviously I had to sacrifice Wales, so because I hadn't had 60 caps quite then.
Go to 60 cap rule. Were you 50?
I was about 58 or something at the time, or maybe a little bit less. And so if you haven't got 60 caps and you leave Wales, you cannot play for Wales. So I sort of knew I wasn't going to play for Wales for 3 years. So I missed the World Cup, missed the Grand Slam, But you know, I ended up going there, won the Premiership, won the Champions Cup. So,
and you, I remember just reading. You had a bit of injuries? Was his knee kind of dilatories in Cardiff?
Yeah, I struggled early on in the season. In all the 3 years I was there, but I managed to get back fit for the end of the season, which worked out.
No, but I'm saying before, say you left Cardiff. It was nearly time for a change. Obviously, I was getting that was a period where I was struggling for a little bit of form, fitness. I was playing like 60-70%. I couldn't get fit really. Quite a lot of niggles. Form went down, and then obviously social media was quite big. So I was a bit of I wouldn't say I was a scapegoat, but I got a bit of a hammering on social media. And I think sometimes when you're so high, you're going and do such high expectation, you explode in the scene, and you probably expect that's normal, that this is going to be like this now for the next 10 years and Grand Slams, and
that was
just not it
doesn't happen like that, does it? You know?
Yeah.
And I think as a sportsman, as much as we won, I was trying harder and harder to get like better, and I think I got into a sort of sequence where I was trying probably too hard, and I was training hard. I was like sort of running myself into the ground a little bit, just trying to think, how do I develop, get better, rather than just think, hang on a minute, what do I do well? Just do that really, really well. And that's when I went to Exeter, and they really just sort of honed in on everything, and I started probably enjoying rugby a little bit more. That's why I left Wales. I wasn't really enjoying rugby at that time, so I needed a change.
This just shows you how good Faz is. I can even remember some of these terms. Don't be desperate, be accurate. Very true when you look back at some of the
100%. Like I can name everything.
But it changed, so you went over, new lease of life, living, surfing down with Rob Baxter, eating
down in Exeter. Yeah, oh mate, it was unbelievable couple of years.
Great team as well. Another, I always said they nearly remind you, the Munster fans, you go in there, they live, breathe it, the chant,
we played Munster a few times.
Yeah, a few times over there.
Oh yeah, I didn't manage.
Horrible place to play as well. Do you know, for an opposition, it's like, I imagine like a Thomond Park, just a tough place to go.
Yeah, well, there's always a bit against you. They've upped the crowd now, so it's a good old stadium. But yeah, 3 years, unbelievable squad. Right, look at the couple of Lions. Everyone was internationals. We had the lot in the
Heineken Cup.
It was a train hard, play hard sort of environment. So a lot of socials.
Suit you down to the ground.
Initiations were
the famous
brutal.
Initiation, is that still the...
What's involved in that?
What's involved? I'm not sure how much I can say on this, but I will say, I signed early in the year, and I was getting like these texts off like a couple of lads from Exeter, like, first text, not even, hey, how are you doing? Well, congrats on.
Are you ready?
Are you ready for initiation?
I can already imagine it. I would have been one of those people.
100%. And I rang Tom Francis. I was like, mate, what's this crap? This initiation? He goes, mate, you can't ask. Just bite the bullet and go with it. I was like, what? I'm not even going to be at the club for another 9 months. And I'll be honest, it didn't disappoint. Really didn't.
Right.
It was absolutely
So it's next level
brutal.
to any international ones that you've done?
Oh yes, it's way on another level. It lasted 45 minutes, so
Touch only last 3 kid.
Wow. Yeah. 3. That's lucky. But just the culture and obviously I had my first kid down there, Harrison, so that sort of like changed it. And then I had 3 years there, and obviously COVID hit. Salary caps all changed. So don't say.
Here we go.
Don't say. So we all left. Everyone left. And then I signed back with the Ospreys. And really then Wayne Pivac ran me after about a couple of months. Said, "Oh, do you want to come back into the Welsh squad?" Which I thought I'd never ever have a chance to do.
Wayne did some job down at Scarlett's, got that job. Remember he changed them around.
Yeah, well, they won the league, but you boys in the final, which was, they were playing some real good stuff that year, weren't they?
Yeah, I actually saw an interview with Razzie before, and it was like, thinking about the games he actually hasn't probably lost that many, but they were like, is there any game you look back on that you regret that you feel he should have won? And you can actually see the anger in his eyes.
Really?
Yeah, that Scarlett's game. It was just Steph Evans, remember he got that hat trick after about 20 minutes.
He is sharp mind, but they were just on such a wave of
roasted Peter Manny 3 times in the wing. Luke here could roast him 3 times in the wing. Like didn't take that much video analysis to do it.
No, but obviously went back to the Ospreys then with the likes of Alan Wynne, Jones, Justin Tipperick. It was pretty cool to go back to.
And then even I think to go away, come back, and then get called back into Wales just shows resilience, determination. That must have been like, it's because you're older now.
Yeah.
You've gone away. You've
I was about 34 then.
Yeah, you explode in the scene, go through tough time, go away, clean slate, good success, and then to get back in, I'd say that brought a serious amount of like self-contentment, you know, because you're like, I've had to do this the hard way. I stuck in there, kind of a Stu McCluskey. You know, it's like, I love seeing them stories because it's like,
it probably. I talk a lot about it because for me, it is, my whole career is probably a little bit around that resilience and just like never giving up, and in a cliche way, but like that actually felt like it was like my first time ever in camp coming back. Like it was like, wow, it's like you know when you think back, oh, imagine if I go back to school now knowing what I know. It was literally like that. I literally went back knowing exactly how everything was going to be,
what I did wrong, what I did good,
and how do I enjoy it, and I just absolutely loved it. I just enjoyed it. It was the first time I was just buzzing being there, going into camp, and I was starting. We went to South Africa, beat South Africa out there for the first time ever for Wales, and you know, in a real good place. And then obviously Wayne got fired, and then Warren came back, and then it sort of changed the dynamic a little bit in that way. And obviously I had a lot of injuries then. I think my body was sort of on the edge, and I got injured in the warm-up game against South Africa before the World Cup. I was hoping to go to the World Cup, got injured in that last game, and then that was my last game for Wales then. So but those 3 years when I came back, most enjoyable I've probably had in my whole career, really.
Isn't that great that you got to do that? You know, you got to go through the tough period, but also stayed in there long enough to actually you finish in a high in your own way, because you got to go back. Obviously, I know you were bitterly disappointed probably time not to go to the World Cup, but at least you got 3 years of being back.
And my kids, and my boy got to, you know, he ended up having to, he came to the stadium, watched me play a few times.
That's massive.
You know, I never, until you have kids and have that, you don't realise how lucky you are to sort of have that. That was quite cool, and he's a rugby nut now, so that meant quite a lot. But yeah, I like I said, most thoroughly enjoyed years. It was probably the last 3, weirdly.
Was it tough to watch when you couldn't be selected like for that World Cup and the Grand Slam, like you mentioned there? Like, what do you like when you're watching your former teammates and people you would have come through with lifting trophies?
The 2019 World Cup, World Cup and Grand Slam, that was quite tough to watch because it was like a double whammy. But I sort of come to terms with not playing for Wales, and I was, at that time, it was the right decision for me. I was probably not playing well enough and in a good headspace to probably be involved as much as I would like anyway in those sort of those squads. So for me, Exeter was the best decision, and I 100% back it. It was the right decision to do at that time. As hard as it is, as a competitiveness of me to win and miss out on a chance to win, you know, be involved in a Grand Slam, you know, they're bloody hard to win, aren't they? You know? And a World Cup. So I've only ever done one World Cup. See, so that's why the 2023 one I was really desperate to try, and so I was probably a bit more gutted about that.
Okay.
Because you came back, you'd made
I was like, you know, was chatting to the coaches about being involved with that World Cup, sort of wrap you in cotton balls, get you there, and then obviously everything just changed with the new coaches and so forth. So, but you know, that's what happens, isn't it?
That is,
that's life.
There's no
I just
career
crack on with it, you know.
Exactly. And you trust the time. You look back now. Things kind of happen for a reason. It is.
100%.
Are you and to say, Alex, just now, life in general, talk to us. You're punditry, you're staying at 5-star hotels over here, me and the Guinness 10 for Chant now. Life good?
Yes, it is good, mate. Got married in August.
Irish girl, I believe, shout out.
Married a Dubliner, so apparently that makes me a decent guy, doesn't it?
But so neglected you.
So you know, I'm over here an awful lot, whether it's for punditry, Premier, or with the family and stuff. So and you know, maybe in a year or two or a couple of years could be living over here, so may see more and more of you lads here.
Permanent fixture first night.
We'll see,
Another man to add to the housing crisis over here, driving out the prizes here. I'm sure the Irish people will be delighted around down here.
It's not cheap around there, is it? It's not like Cardiff. But
I know, it's crazy.
But no, I've obviously got a couple of other businesses and doing a few other stuff part-time. I'm into my horses, so I own a few horses as well.
Nice.
So I live
a few tips to myself for Cheltenham.
Yeah, I've got a fair few.
Good man.
I think the Brits might do a bit better this year, so we will see. But yeah, enjoying life, mate. I got a 5 and a 4-year-old, so it's keeping me busy as well.
Great.
Sport in Wales with Gareth as well, founded that.
Yes, we got that. That's growing massively now. So it's one of the biggest advertising sort of magazines outlet pod in Wales. So that's growing, which is pretty cool. He's obviously in Bayonne doing absolutely nothing. But, so I'm fronting that. But yes, coaching. I think I'd like to go into that maybe in a couple of years, just as the kids get a little bit older.
Yeah. Like, would it be that kind of level of coaching? Would you not close off?
I wouldn't close off. Like,
never close off.
No, never. I've got too much experience. I've been in so many different environments.
Yeah.
I've been coached by the best coaches in the world. Like Sean Edwards, Gats, Farrell, Ali Heath, Bax. You know, I've got so much.
Too much knowledge. Not
I feel. I don't get me wrong. I coach my boys' team, which is absolutely hard to can't. It's organised chaos, as you say. But I wouldn't close myself off to coaching further down the line, and especially the way the back three is such an important role. I think
now, especially
in the game,
high ball,
and that's the sort of area I think I can offer a lot. So yeah, we will see. Never say never.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Alex, we're almost at the airport, dropping you back. And once again, we have to say a big thanks to our partner for the Six Nations Championship, BYD South Dublin, Deansgrange, BYD North Dublin, Navan Road, part of the MSL Motor Group. And Dave, what a pleasure it's been to have Alex.
That's Luke's third take there, another blue.
No.
We're just dropping Alex here to the private airport here in Terminal 3 that no one
using
knows.
Dave's private jet.
Yeah.
She's like, a big horses and me's out, so that's ideal.
But Dave, what an episode, I suppose, and what a guest we had on for our Welsh pickup.
Yeah, we had heard great things and always delivered on and off the pitch, so delighted to have you, Alex. Thanks so much for coming.
Cheers, lad. Appreciate it.
Thank you.